Hi guys. I found some new information that I wanted to share with you, and wanted to make sure that everybody was aware. So I felt like doing it through email probably wouldn't be as good as if you heard it through this. So last night we had a meeting, a webinar with the head of AP testing through College Boards. There were 750,000 people on this webinar. And after that, this morning, Miss Fusco, Miss Brandenberger, and all of the AP teachers met after the webinar to kind of gather our thoughts and see how things were going. So I'm going to fill you in on some information. You won't be getting this actually sent to you until midday today. Today is Friday, if you're seeing this a little bit later. You're going to be getting it about noon to 2, sometime in there. He said he'll have it update. He's going to send a email out to every student so that you get to see what the changes are and how things are going to look for this test. They are still planning on giving the AP exam. He said that he's talked to University of California and he's talked to several, that was one he used in particular, but he's talked to several colleges and they're still planning to use the scores for replacement grades for college. So I'm hoping that that will work for you. In the event that you score a 3, 4, or 5, you still should be held um, at the ability level that you could go into Calc 2, or just use it as your final math requirement if that's something you want to do. Okay, so anyway, the stuff that we talked about last night is what the test will look like. And so basically it's going to be, from what it sounds like he's saying, and we'll get more specifics, they're creating it right now, but it looks like it's going to be 2 extended response questions. I'm going to assume one of them would be non-calculator, one of them will be calculator, but I don't know since they're not there to proctor it. It may not be. It's going to be timed, so you'll have on your screen, you'll have a little timer that will tell you have so many minutes to read the question, you have so many minutes to answer it, and then so many minutes to either take a picture of your work and upload it to the program, or I forgot what the other ways were. You can, in the beginning, you can choose. So you can either type, you can write it, which I suggest for us in calculus is going to be way easier for you to write your work down and then take a picture and upload it to their program, I would assume. And then there was one other way, but I can't remember what it was. So anyway, the purpose of the timer is to help with the security measures, which I will talk about later. But just to make sure that you're answering the question to your ability and then putting it up on the for them to look at. Now, I think from what I said, again, I think that's 2 questions, or it will be 1 question that has a lot of parts to it. So I'm not really sure. Again, that's information they're still working on, and as soon as I know, I'll let you know. Let's see. So basically what we talked about in our meeting this morning with the APs is that I don't know if any of you have looked at it, but they have AP College Board has created, and actually people who are creating these tests have created review live lessons. And so I looked at a little bit of it, and it sounds like that is the biggest suggestion for everybody, and that we should move forward. So I know in the beginning I told you that I was a little concerned about not having you see area and volume, and really all we've missed there is 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3. So if that's something, I would suggest that you go when you have time to finish the work that I'm going to give you, because now it's going to be different. I was told that it is not probably appropriate right now to move forward and try to teach all those new topics and test on them and make sure that you have them, that it would actually be better to review where we're at and use that College Board stuff that they are giving us. So I will be creating some things for you, like forms, quizzes for you to fill in, just to make sure that you're watching the videos. But it won't be probably anything that I'm doing. It sounds like they're saying that that is probably your best review and study for this test. Also in those reviews, they're going to be showing you how to log in and how to get onto this new system that they're creating. And they're hopefully, College Board is saying that they're going to have some simulations. So before you get ready to sit and take this test, they're going to have some sort of simulation process that you can practice with the timer, because you can turn the timer off and things like that. So diving a little more into the test, they are expecting that there are some students that are not going to have internet access. And so they've created it so that it's supposed to be very easy to get into and use, and you can even do it on your cell phone. So they're thinking that some students are probably going to have to go to a parking lot somewhere and just use internet access and sit in their car and try to do, I mean, that's the worst case scenario that they're thinking. And so they're trying to make it so that it is easy for anybody to use in whatever, setup that you happen to have. So let's talk about security measures then. So what they're doing for checking for plagiarism or having someone else take the test for you is a couple of different things they're doing. The security measures that they're using are very high tech, to the point he kind of explained it a little bit, but he wouldn't even share all of it with us. It's basically some sort of system and some way that they see how you're typing and whatever it is that you're doing, that they can figure out or kind of get an idea if it's the person that they're asking about. That's one way. And one thing I definitely want you to know is that if they suspect or they find that anyone is cheating, they are going to submit that information to everywhere that this student has asked, every college that this student has asked for their information to go. So that means even, whatever college you've been accepted to, or if you applied to colleges and you asked for your AP information to go there, or even your SAT information, because it's all College Board. So they are going to be letting those colleges know that, they found someone cheating. Another way is they are going to be sending all the teachers the information, whatever the students have uploaded, so that we can check for, to make sure that it sounds like the student. Is it consistent with what the student has been doing all year? Some kind of things like that. So just be aware that they are on the lookout. I don't expect that any of you are going to be trying anything like that. I certainly suggest that you do not. Now, what he did say was that you can use notes. You can use notes. You can have two devices open. You can have a computer and then your phone, so you can read the question and then enter on the computer. But whatever you're logged into is what you have to submit your information to. So the point in the timer is so that you're not using a lot of time. Like, I don't suggest that you even maybe have your book open and look and see if there's anything in that you need, and have a quick reference for it. But you're gonna be timed, so you're gonna have to do a majority of your work without any notes, without any help. So so anyway, that's just kind of giving you an idea of what they're talking about. Again, this is sort of the beginning stages. They haven't created the test yet. They're in the process of getting that done. But our date, just so you know, they have right now, our date is May 12th. And it's either 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. When that information comes out today, I will make sure and get that. And you can see it too, so you'll know. So those of you who work, you need to talk to your jobs and make sure that they are aware that you will need that time off, or you'll need to find somewhere to go. The test is going to be at maximum 45 minutes. So he said they won't be any longer. None of the AP tests will be longer than 45 minutes. So you'll need to give yourself some time, have yourself a place that you can go, whether it is in a parking lot with your cell phone and a piece of paper, somewhere that you can sit down and do this, and make sure and get it done. What we're looking for as teachers is when we get on March 26th, I believe they said, they're going to be getting us your information, everything that you wrote on and what you submitted. And so when we get those, that is going to give us, a good indication of how we're going to end up the quarter. So you just want to make sure that you are there for the test, and that you have yourself right now, go ahead and find that time that you have allotted, that you have open, that you can make sure and be there and do very well, hopefully. Let's see. So as far as what we're going to be doing from now on, and I need some time this weekend. Now that my plans have changed and it's Friday, I'm going to need some time this weekend to get that all ready. So what you guys can do is continue with the last of what I gave you, which is looking at the review questions from Chapter 6. Where we got is a little bit farther than you have to be for the test. So that's good. but I still want you to continue to do those questions. Keep sending me the work that you have on those. I have been documenting those grades. We are not allowed to put any grades on Crosspoint right now, so you can't see it. I'm just holding on to it. So if you just want to verify or whatever, and all I'm doing really is just checking you off that you did it and that you sent it to me. So if you haven't done that for the homework in 6.4, please do that. And then if you guys will go ahead and finish up the review as well, give me some time to get this next portion, because we're really switching gears now. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, if you haven't seen it yet, AP College Board has put out a YouTube channel where they have every AP course that will be tested. They have the creators of the tests that have made videos review. So for some reason ours start with a 7. I'm not sure why. It's like 7.1, 7.2, something like that. So I watched a little bit of the first one, and it really just kind of goes back into everything, just sums up everything you've done from the beginning with derivatives all the way through to integrals. So what I'm going to be doing is assigning those. I need to first get an idea of how long they are, and stuff like that. So I'll get my wits about me for that. But I'm also going to be creating a forms quiz for you to fill out, and that's how I will grade you that you're doing it. So you'll answer questions that are based off the video, things that they talk about, things that they ask, questions. I may even come up with some questions that are similar to the ones that they do in the video. And I know that's hard for me to put that in someone else's shoes, because I like to give you the way that I teach things, and but I have been told that that's going to be the best thing, because it is College Board created, and these are the people that are making the test. So sounds like across the nation, that's what most teachers are doing, from what I'm understanding. So I would just suggest, so you'll continue that. I'll get that ready for you next week, hopefully by Monday. If not by Tuesday, I'll have it ready and sent out to you. I'll send out a reminder to make sure ahead of time. And if you could, whenever you have time, because that gives us a month and about a week that we'll be doing the same process. So anytime that you're ahead, I know a lot of you work ahead. So if you do that, take some time and go into 7.1 and maybe just read through the lesson and do some of the questions in the homework, do some odd ones or any that you want to do. I have not given you the homework assignment, but back in the review section, get as many of that as you can and just try them. And area and volume is what it covers. You can also look up YouTube videos if you want to spend some time on that. My only fear for not going over that is that when you get into Calc 2, if you get the credit and you go on to Calc 2, then that's something you're going to use a lot of, more so in Calc 3, but area and volume is something that is understood that you should know from Calc 1. So that's the only holdback that I have to not doing it, but I do understand that we will not have the time and get you prepared for the test. So use your time however you'd like to. I created this video using Zoom. I was against that because I didn't want something else to have to keep up with. But now that I've created it, if we need to do a meeting or something like that, if anybody wants to suggest that, we'll try to find a time. I know a lot of people work during the day. We can get as many people as we can if we need to. So at this point, I just want you guys to finish out chapter 6 and listen for something from me next week, getting you started into the videos. You can go ahead and search on YouTube too. It's pretty easy to find. I just did it yesterday. They came right up. So anyway, I hope all of you are being safe and staying at home for the most part. I know I'm trying to. I keep having to go to the store just because I'm freaking out that I'm going to run out of something. So I'm trying not to do as much as I can, but Jeff is still working, so who knows what he's seeing when he's at work. So anyway, you guys stay safe. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with once we get this going, if you have any questions or anything. Okay, and it was nice being able to speak to you, even though you didn't get to speak to me. If you would like to, you can always call me. I'll be here.